Xernona Clayton. Xernona Clayton was born August 30th, 1930 in Muskogee, Oklahoma. She's an African-American civil rights leader and broadcasting executive. During the African-American Civil Rights Movement, she worked for the National Urban League and Southern Christian Leadership Conference, where she became involved in the works of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Clayton then went into television, where she became the first female African-American to host a primetime talk show. She became corporate vice president for Turner Broadcasting. Clayton also created the Trumpet Awards Foundation and International Civil Rights Walk of Fame to honor the achievements of African Americans and civil rights advocates. Miss Clayton returned to her hometown of Muskogee on January 15, 2014 to be honored for her lifetime of achievements and to revisit her past. Clayton made many appearances during her visit. Her first stop was Booker T. Washington Cemetery, where her parents lay in rest, Antioch Baptist Church, the past site of Manual Training High School, the historic Roxy Theater, the Martin Luther King Jr. Community Center, the Muskogee Civic Center with famous guests Chris Tucker and Richard Roundtree, Muskogee High School, where she spoke to the students about her past, and 3rd Street, which was renamed Xernona Clayton Way in honor of her achievements in the civil rights movement.
2,000 miles along the way.
But the first thing I want to say to you is the look of the student body is the first thing that impresses me. Because the painful part of my memory is I was restricted when I was here as a student. I lived in the era of segregation and discrimination. So I couldn't do what you've done. You choose your friends and your associates because you like them without regard to color. I couldn't do that, but it propelled me when I got out of school and worked into the world with the commissioned spirit that I'm going to do something about this. Then I worked in the field of equal rights so that everybody, everywhere in these United States could live, work, go to school, choose your friends based on the ones you like rather than the ones who look just like you. So I am thrilled to see this day come when blacks and whites together are the order of the day, because that's the way it should be. So thank you, and everybody who now can operate in a free society.
Miss Clayton, we are so thankful to have you here today at the high school, and you know, being such a big figure in the rights of equality today. It was such an honor to bring you here. Can you tell me a little bit about how it was to be back home?
It's an indescribable moment. I tell people that I'm very happy, but that really doesn't describe it. To know that I sat here, and as a student, I was like, you know, you all are just trying to learn, trying to figure out what I'm going to do in the future. And then to have my life take its turn, and now to come home, to receive such wonderful and great reception, it's indescribable, really. It's hard to put into words. It's a high moment. Mm-hmm.
And you know, when you talk, you have such passion behind what you're saying. You know, everybody in this room today was so engaged into every word. What drives that passion?
Well, first place, I didn't come here to make a speech. I don't make speeches for the sake of making speeches. I won't go unless I can express my feelings. My feelings were genuine here today. And when I looked around that room, I saw myself sitting there. I was a student, so I didn't have to make that up. I've lived what I talked about, so I didn't have to concoct it. So I feel what I say, And that's the way I wanted to feel. And I even said to the planners of this event, I was here on the stage initially, I said, no, I want to be down on the floor where the students are. I want to be close to them because that's the feeling I had. I wanted to connect, and that was really honest for me. What do I think I'd like to have them receive from this?
Right.
Okay.
Right. What do you want them to interpret
Okay.
today?
I want them first to see that I really wasn't trying to concoct. I wasn't trying to be impressive. I wasn't trying to woo them. I wasn't a salesman today. I wasn't trying to sell them anything. I wanted them to hear firsthand. See, I lived what I talk about today. And I want them to see that what I talk about is reality. The reality of the world is you've got to go out there and you're going to meet all kinds of situations. We got the race problem kind of licked in a sense that we passed some laws that will prevent some of that from happening again. But then in spite of that, what are we going to do for each other?
Right.
See, we got to make humanity a reality. And I'm hoping now that they will learn from me that I've lived that, and I hope that they can glean from that.
If you could give just a few final words of advice to the students of Muskogee High, what do you think your final words would be to say?
That very few people are going to give you anything. You've got to earn the right to be wherever you end up being. And people have to understand that. And when I talk about looking in the mirror, talk about how important you are, I mean that. Because when you say to yourself, I make the decisions for me. But if you mean it, it'll work. Now, if you're going to let other people guide your life and let people lure you into the wrong, then you're not going to be doing right in your life. So you choose. And I want the students to understand that the choice is theirs.
Today, I just want to thank you again for coming to Muskogee, coming home, and we're so very grateful to have you here today. You really have touched me and inspired me, and I can't thank you enough for that.
Thank you.
And so I just want to say thank you very much.
My pleasure.